After a long break, Donald Trump is finally back in the news today. During a press conference, he delivered an inspired monologue about Marco Rubio sweating too much during the last GOP debate. Take a look.
He was soaking wet, I'm telling you. He was wet. Boy, I say, what the hell's going on over here? I thought he just came out of a swimming pool. He was soaking. Look, I said, wow. I said, are you okay? No, when we get in with Putin, we need people that don't sweat. Let me tell you. No, it's true. Got to have people that don't sweat. Can you imagine Putin sitting there and waiting for the meeting, and this guy walks in and he's like a wreck? No. You got to have Trump walk into that meeting, folks. We'll do very nicely. We're going to do very nicely.
Katie, he is a truth teller, right? No one wants a sweaty president.
Man, that crowd was screaming so loud you couldn't hear the minority that was getting kicked.
Wait, there was no trouble at that rally, Mike. That was a long time ago. Katie.
Okay, I interviewed Marco Rubio. Is that a dog barking?
Get that Clinton out of here.
Hillary's watching.
And so I was interviewing Marco Rubio about Iran and about nuclear weapons and about Cuba. And we're sitting there, the two of us, a lot of cameras, and he grabs for the water.
He likes water, doesn't he?
And so I got very nervous, thinking, how am I going to save him from himself? So I said, I may be a mom. And I grabbed it out of his hand, and I unscrewed it, and I poured it in. And said, here you go, Senator. He looked at me and said, thanks.
He's nice. You know, the thing is, he loves his water. But that's the thing, Trump has a lot of style. If he needs water, he's going to pick up the water and say, hey, I need water, and he's going to drink. Marco, he sneaks his water. Doesn't that show you something?
I don't think it shows me anything. Trump used to have his own bottle of water.
Trump on the side.
Yeah, and it had like
Trump
his
water.
face with flames behind it or something crazy.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, sweating and drinking water, it's human. Why is this so bad? You know who doesn't sweat? Pigs. They roll around in their and they were in the enemy in Animal Farm.
Yes.
So if we want them talking to Putin, I guess that's better. I don't know.
I don't know.
He's a crazy
Jedediah,
person.
can you go to Russia and meet with Putin if you perspire?
I don't like the sweating, Tom. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. No, because really it translates to nerves for me.
Yeah.
If I showed
Well, you
up
would hate
here,
my hands because they always look like the back of Luther Vandross's neck after an encore.
but you're not so
Disgusting. Look at that. They're Edward.
It does actually look like that. I'm close up. It kind of does look like that.
He's a fist
But if you were like
They're like a Native
soaked,
American near a landfill. Dripping. So.
I don't know where to go from that. Like, where does one go?
I think let him go.
Just keep going. Anything else? What else do they look like?
No, he has
Marco Rubio.
No,
his hands perspire. That's what he's saying.
I think it's when you see someone like that, they don't look confident. I think they look nervous.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It is. When you're constantly reaching for water and you're dripping with sweat and you're in a debate setting or in an interview, what that tells me, if I were a body language expert, and I am, you are nervous. You are nervous. I want a confident guy, and I think Trump is making a point that a lot of us notice. Whenever I see that, unless he has a medical condition, unless Rubio has something wrong with him that is making him sweat profusely, you're a nervous guy and you're worried about your performance. That's performance anxiety.
Yes, it happens, although that's the thing, is that the perception that Rubio is young and maybe green and maybe a little nervous, he feeds into it. Trump is a branding expert. That's why he did the, Jeb is low energy. He attacks everybody, and this stuff really sticks. Okay. Meanwhile, when it comes to torture, Trump isn't sweating that. In an op-ed for the USA Today, the billionaire says he would support and endorse the use of enhanced interrogation techniques if they would enhance the protection and safety of the nation. While admitting the decision to use these techniques would weigh heavily, he concludes, I cannot imagine knowing that something could have been done to save American lives and then not taking those actions. KT, okay, this is Trump is expert at saying what people think. I think a lot of people, they thought that Bush got a lot of flack for his, what they called the torture memos, and Trump is pushing back on that.
Yeah, he's pushing back on it, but if you watch the words he used, he said, if I could save American lives. So it's not like saying we're going to use torture all the time. This is what's called the ticking bomb theory. Would you, if you knew there was a nuclear weapon or a bomb about to go off somewhere, would you torture somebody who you knew could give you the answer? Would you waterboard that person? I think under those circumstances, most Americans would say, hand me the hose.
Agreed.
He has said. He said the other night, I think during the debate, he would bring back waterboarding in a second.
Yeah.
And I think this, it plays into, I think the average American likes this kind of tough
I think
talk,
they like it too, because they hate when you take things off the table, because you never know what situation you're going to be in. Anyone who lived through 9/11, anyone who lives through what terrorism is doing to so many countries, to so many people right now, says, I want to have all the tools necessary. I think the concern by some is that they feel that this torture is ineffective. That's debatable. Some feel it's effective in terms of getting information out. Some feel that it's not. Should he be on a path to use it only if it's effective? Sure. You know, we need to pay attention to these things. But I think people generally, Trump does what people like, which is that he speaks very simply and very succinctly and says, I want to keep all options on the table. I want to keep America safe at all costs. Done. End of story. And people say, yeah, I like this guy. It's not complicated. It's simple. It's clear. They're on board.
They'll worry about the details later, right?
But she's absolutely right, because in what we have seen when we have taken bad guys hostage is they know exactly what the United States can do and can't do. Almost as if they've read the book on what's the definition.
Well, there's a book, because we published it, right?
We published the book, yeah.